How does your net worth compare to the average person? You might be surprised to learn just how much, or how little, the typical American actually has in terms of net worth. The numbers might not be what you'd expect, and they can really open your eyes to how much people have stashed away. Let's dive into what the average net worth really looks like. There are different ways to calculate an average, but the most common form people refer to is the mean. The average net worth using the mean is found by adding up everyone's net worth and dividing it by the total population. However, this number can be misleading because it's heavily influenced by the wealthiest individuals, making the average seem much higher than what most people actually have. In contrast, the median net worth represents the middle point. When all net worths are lined up from smallest to largest, the median is the value right in the center, with half the population having more and half having less. Because it isn't affected by extreme outliers, the median is often a more accurate reflection of the typical person's financial situation. Both the mean and median are types of averages, but the median is often more useful in certain situations. In the US, the mean net worth is much higher than the median, which highlights a certain degree of wealth inequality and how a small group of extremely wealthy individuals pull the mean upward. Net worth is determined by adding up the value of everything you own, including investments, real estate, vehicles, jewelry, and any cash or money in your bank accounts. Once you've totaled all your assets, you subtract any debts or liabilities you have. Net worth also includes the equity in your primary residence, which is its current value minus the remaining mortgage balance. Some people don't like to include their home, cars, or other items they consider irrelevant, arguing that homes aren't liquid assets or that they're necessities and therefore shouldn't count. However, by definition, net worth includes all items with value and liabilities, whether or not they're liquid or essential. Calculating net worth isn't about picking and choosing which assets to include based on whether you think they should be included or not. It requires adding up the total value of everything you own, regardless of its purpose, and subtracting your liabilities. The most recent report from the Federal Reserve shows that the average, or mean, net worth for U.S. households is around $1.06 million. If that sounds surprisingly high, it's because it is. This number is heavily skewed upward by ultra-wealthy individuals, like centimillionaires and billionaires. Take a sigh of relief. The more realistic measure for the typical person using the median household stands at $192,700. This doesn't mean that these people have all kinds of money sitting in a bank account or investment portfolio ready to spend. Net worth often sounds higher than it really is because it's spread out across various assets, many of which aren't liquid. For example, a significant portion of someone's net worth might be tied up in their home. Its value contributes to their net worth, even though it's not money they can easily access. Some of it could be tied up in their car, which is technically an asset but also depreciates over time. A bit might be in their retirement accounts, like a 401k or IRA, which they can't touch without penalties until later in life. Then, there's likely a smaller portion in liquid accounts, like savings or checking. Even personal belongings, like the clothes in their closet, the furniture in their house, or the TV in their living room, contribute to their net worth. When you break it down like this, it doesn't feel like an overwhelming amount of wealth. It's just the value of everything someone owns, minus what they owe. It's a reminder that net worth isn't necessarily the same as financial freedom or cash on hand. The difference in net worth between homeowners and renters is staggering. According to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth of a renter is only about $10,000, while for homeowners, it's nearly $400,000, roughly 40 times higher. Several factors likely contribute to this gap, such as homeowners generally having stronger financial habits, better credit, and higher incomes compared to renters. However, the benefits of homeownership are undeniable. With a relatively small down payment, homeowners can build equity as their property value increases over time and their mortgage balance decreases. All of this happens while they could be paying a monthly housing cost similar to what renters pay, making homeownership a powerful tool for building wealth. Plus, renters deal with rent hikes almost every year, which makes it hard to get ahead. Homeowners, on the other hand, usually have pretty steady housing costs, which helps them keep their largest expenditure in check and contribute more to their investments over time. Net worth is a handy tool because it gives you a picture of where you stand financially and helps you track your progress over time. It's not just about how much money you make or how much you have in the bank. It's about the full picture of what you own versus what you owe. By checking in on your net worth regularly, you can see if you're moving in the right direction, like paying off debt, saving more, or growing your investments. For example, if your net worth keeps going up year after year, That's a good sign you're building wealth and working towards financial goals like buying a home, retiring, or even just having more financial freedom. On the flip side, if your net worth isn't changing or dropping, it might be a signal to reevaluate your spending, saving, or investing habits. Maybe you've taken on too much debt, or you're not saving enough for big goals. The great thing about net worth is that it's more than just a number. It's a helpful tool for figuring out what's going well and what might need some improvement. Unlike focusing on just your income, which only tells part of the story, net worth shows how everything, your savings, debts, investments, and assets, fit together. It's a great way to keep yourself motivated, set goals, and make sure you're on the right track to the future you want. Don't worry if your financial growth seems slow at first. It's completely normal. When you're working on increasing your net worth, the changes often happen so gradually that you might not even notice much difference in your personal wealth day to day or even month to month. Sure, over the course of several years, you'll likely see some noticeable improvements, like a little more breathing room in your budget and a slightly bigger bank account, but they're usually small, incremental improvements which can be easy to overlook. That's why it's so helpful to track your net worth on a regular basis, whether it's quarterly, biannually, or even annually. By sitting down every few months or so, reviewing your finances, and seeing the numbers laid out on paper, you'll be able to clearly spot your progress. You might find yourself saying, "Wow, I've made more progress than I thought." You'll get a more accurate sense of how much you've grown and how far you've come, even when the changes seem subtle day to day. Having that tangible evidence of growth can be incredibly motivating and give you a boost to keep pushing forward, especially when it feels like things are moving incredibly slowly. Net worth is a helpful way to measure financial health, but it's far from the whole story. It's just one piece of the puzzle and doesn't show everything about someone's financial situation. For example, a person might have a high net worth because they own valuable assets, like a house, but still struggle with cash flow if they don't have enough savings or steady income. On the flip side, someone with a low or even negative net worth, like a young person with student loans, might still be financially healthy if they have a good income and solid financial habits. So, while net worth can tell us a lot, it doesn't capture the entire picture of someone's money situation. Increasing your net worth doesn't happen overnight, but there are several strategies you can use to grow it over time. First, and most importantly, paying down high-interest debt, like credit card balances, can make a huge difference. High-interest debt is often unsecured, so it negatively impacts your net worth directly. Just getting rid of that can make a huge difference. Next, focusing on saving and investing regularly is key. Setting up automatic transfers to retirement accounts or brokerage accounts ensures you're consistently building wealth. If possible, try to increase your income by taking on side gigs, negotiating a raise, or upskilling for a better job opportunity. Another powerful way to increase net worth is through homeownership, as real estate can appreciate in value over time. Finally, don't forget to track your spending and live below your means, so you have more money to invest in assets that will grow your wealth in the long term. Every step, no matter how small, adds up to a more prosperous future. With some dedication and the right strategies, it's completely possible for the average person to surpass the median household net worth in the United States. By focusing on reducing debt, saving regularly, and making consistent investments, small improvements can lead to big gains over time. It's not about making huge changes overnight, but staying committed to your financial goals and keeping track of the progress along the way.